Going to look at a thing called prime factors, which is a very common question on the MT. You know that some numbers are called prime numbers, and they are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and it goes on and on and on. A prime number is a number that nothing goes into except itself or 1. It's usually an odd number except for the number 2, and obviously there are a lot of odd numbers that are not prime numbers because if it ends in a 5, you can divide by 5. There are a lot of odd numbers that 3 will go into. So you have to be sure, you really need to know your prime numbers to be certain which one is which. And if you're not sure, you can always divide by one of these numbers on your calculator and see if it is prime or not. It turns out though that we can also use them for this prime factor. It turns out that every number can be broken down to a list of prime numbers that are multiplied together. And this list is called your prime factors of the number. So for example, if you had the number 8, you can break that down to 2 times 2 times 2. This list of 2's are called the prime factors of 8. Or if you have 21, 3 times 7 makes 21. 3 and 7 are the prime factors of 21. Number 30, you could have 2 times 3 times 5. These are the prime factors of 30. And some people might say you can also write 3 times 10, but they wouldn't be prime factors because 10 is not a prime number. You must have prime numbers to have prime factors. So we need to have a better way of finding these prime factors. You can't just keep guessing what they might be. We're going to look at a method called the ladder method. So if you had the number 50, let's start with it. What you do is you look at 50 and you think, which of my prime numbers, and there must be prime numbers, will divide into 50? So we'll start with 2 because it is an even number and we know 2 will go in. So 2 goes in 25 times. Now you look at 25 and you think the same question. What will go into 25? And it must be a prime number. Well, 2 will not go into 25, 3 won't go into 25, but 5 will go into 25. And it'll go in 5 times. So now we look at 5 and we think what will go into 5? Well, the only thing that will go into 5 is 5 itself. And now I know I'm finished because I have got the answer 1. This part of the diagram, these numbers here, are the answer. These numbers are called the prime factors. And we write it as 2 times 5 times 5. And those are your prime factors of 50. So let's look at another example, 38. So again, it's an even number, so 2 will go in and it'll go in 19 times. So you're trying to think if anything goes into 19, and nothing goes in except 19 itself. So that's a very short question. The answer for 38 are these two numbers, 2 and 19. And you write the answer as them multiplied together. Let's look at 65. So 65, definitely not an even number, so no 2 won't go in. You can try 3, but it won't go in. 5 will definitely go in, and you can tell that because it ends in a 5. 5 will go into 65 13 times. And again, we've got a prime number, 13, so the only thing that goes into 13 is 13. So the answer for 65 is 5 times 13. Then we look at 87. Now 87 is one of those numbers that looks like nothing will go into it. It's not even, so 2 won't go in, but you should always check with your calculator. So I'm going to check 87 on the calculator. I'm going to try and divide 87 by 3. Oh, turn up. 87 divide by 3. And it does actually, it goes in 29 times. So we're just going to divide this by 3. So you have to check just in case. And 29 definitely is prime, so nothing goes in. 3 times 29 is the answer for 87. Let's try another number. Say we had 40. So, first of all, you think what goes into 40? 2 will go into 40. 2 goes into 40 20 times. Do again with 20. 2 goes into 20 10 times. We can do 2 again. 2 goes into 10 5 times. And finally, we have to divide by 5. So these answers are the answer for 40. 2 times 2 times another 2 times 5. And you wouldn't leave any of them out. They're all part of the answer. Let's try a different number. Say we had 84. So we know that 2 will go in because even number. 2 into 84 goes 42 times. Like a 42, another even number. 2 into 42 goes 21 times. You know that 2 won't go into 21, but you should know that 3 goes in. 7 is the only thing that will go into 7. So these answers for 84 are 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. Occasionally you'll get an actual prime number and you can, like 19. The only thing that goes into 19 is 19. And the prime factors of 19 is just 19. It doesn't have a list of prime factors. Okay, 1 is not a prime number. If I draw one now, we'll have a look and see what mistakes you can make. So say we had the number 20 and want to find the prime factors. And I thought, well, 4 goes into 20, I'm going to divide by 4. 4 goes in 5, divide by 5, and I get 1. So what mistake has been made there is that we divided by 4, and 4 is not a prime number. So that would not be the correct answer. You must divide by prime numbers always. And it's very easy when you've done a lot of these to start using numbers that will go in, because it's useful. You remember your times tables. But remember, there's lots of numbers that are not prime. You can only use really basically from the list here. Always start small. Always start with like 2 or 5 or 3 and divide by those numbers. Okay.